I have an announcement to make. I have an announcement to make. If you who was here last night for our shall we say little discussion, our little discussion, our little expose on the launch of the day before. Because my friends, I want you to know it is no longer the day before. It is the day after. And as a result of a lot of things, including the incredible criticism of pretty much the entire games community, FnTastic, the leaders, the company that made the day before, is doing a lot of heavy lifting in the statement, by the way, has shut down just 4 days after the launch. And my friends, this is going to be some great time. So let's get ready. Let's hop in it. As you can see, little Dexerto post. Usually Dexerto is complete trash, but not even they could screw this one up. It's a very simple thing. they existed. They launched the game 4 days ago, and now they're done. Now let's see why. Oh boy, guys, get ready. All right, this is the day before review, and this was I'm only showcasing this as much as I love to meme IGN. This was IGN's score on it. A solid, a strong 1 out of 10. strong 1. I don't think I've ever seen IGN give a 1 before. Actually, they usually give patty cake kind of scores when they should be giving lower, and then they're like, oh, we're actually pretty edgy, so they'll give fucking Spider-Man or some really good game an 8 out of 10, and you're like, haha, see, we don't pull our punches. No, IGN are usually shills, but they gave a 1 to the day before. Unbearable. The day before is easily one of the worst games I've ever played, to the point where I'm afraid to continue running it on my PC. I'm afraid the day before will destroy my PC. And if you didn't manage to try it out yourself, probably count yourself as one of the lucky ones. Well, I wonder why they closed, guys. I wonder why they closed. It's truly a crazy turn of events. Hold on. There was a post by FnTastic. Let me see if I can find it. One of the kind community members linked it. Here we go. I found it. Wickerman linked it. Let me pull it over here, because I want to read FnTastic's actual statement before anything else. And welcome, Sally. So good to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a great night. Today, we announce the closure of FnTastic Studio. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. I'm starting with this because there's a lot of detail I want to go into. I actually want to do a little bit of an interesting dive for you guys, my friends, so get ready. We have invested all of our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of the day before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. Oh, it's so sad. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before. There was no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, doing all the work the day before, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. At the moment, the future of the day before and the prop night is unknown. JK, it's actually completely well known. We're gonna tell you what it is, but the servers will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately we miscalculated. It's so easy to miscalculate these things, guys. Our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor, especially when we're a scam. It's so hard to pull off a good scam these days. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been an FnTastic journey over the past 8 years. 2015, we opened the studio. We're gonna go through all of this, by the way, guys. 2017, we released The Wild 8. 2018, we released The Dead Dozen. 2018, we also released The Radiant One, which no one ever heard of because it was a non-existent game. 2021, we released Prop Night, and then in 2023, the release of The Day Before. FnTastic. A truly fantastic and fitting end to this, guys. All right, let me tell you guys. Let me tell you about what is going on here. This statement is what we call, I work in business. So anyone who doesn't know, the reason I'm always dressed up so fucking beautiful and fancy every night is because I work in business. This is my day job. I do a lot of business research. I work with a lot of companies. I try to turn failing companies around. We sometimes, expedite the release of a fully failed company, and try to get assets all set in gear and stuff. But that's the thing we like to do the least, but we've had to do it a few times. Usually we do a lot of consulting and trying to fix these kinds of issues. So let me tell you what this is. Guys, this is what we call in the business a CYA. Now, what does CYA stand for, guys? CYA is a very, very specific term. It's a colloquialism called cover your ass. Exactly, Doc got it. It's a cover your ass statement. That is what this is. They are begging and pleading right here to not get sued. That is all this statement is. And I will point out the specific language that'll be like, hey, don't come after us for this, don't come after us for this, don't come after us for this, because that is all they're trying to do in this statement. Because right now, FnTastic or FnTastic or FnTastic, whatever they want to call themselves, fat nasties, let me tell you guys, they are doing something that is almost unheard of in the gaming world. They are uniting the gaming world for the first time in ages. Every single person in the gaming community, whether they're in journalism, a content creator, a gamer, a streamer, whatever, all of us have come together in one giant mash of agreement for the first time in ages, being like, yeah, this game sucks. I think it's a scam. It is amazing that the gaming community can come together and agree on anything in the entire world. And this is one of those rare times. And FnTastic is effing shit in their pants, guys. Let me tell you, they're wearing brown pants today, my friends. I want you to know they're wearing the brown pants today because I think they well and truly have realized how much they've screwed up. Let me explain my thoughts on why this game was even released, why this game was, put in the way it was, and why they're pulling out all of a sudden. About, 4 years ago now? 3 years ago? It's hard for me to tell because the official video from FnTastic has been taken down. They've taken down all of their trailers, which is a great sign. That's another aspect of CYA. That's another aspect of covering your ass. They basically try to take down all of their previous trailers, their previous screenshots, all their media packages. I've looked about their game in an effort to eradicate all existence of the day before, so they can lower their chances of getting sued. Regardless, 3 to 4 years ago, whenever it was, they released their first trailer. This trailer was the one that looked really good, and everyone decided to wishlist the game on Steam, and became the most wishlisted game on Steam ever. And it was advertising a fantastic, pun intended, world of a survival MMO in a zombie apocalypse, post-apocalyptic wasteland kind of thing. And it's a mosh of game genres that we all love here. It's a mosh of game genres that we really wanted, which is why it became extremely wishlisted. Dude, we love MMOs, we love survival, we love zombies. Project Zomboid, where you could play in like a 3D world, and Unreal 5 with good graphics, and you could really take on these zombie hordes together and like scavenge and create your own base. Dude, that sounds awesome. Why has no one ever made it before? I mean, people have made smaller scale games, but why has no one ever made an MMO before? So they thought to jump on that hype train, and which was, a smart marketing ploy from them. And Once Human is good. I'll have to check that out. I have no idea. Link that to me in Discord, Cat Kangaroo. And also welcome. I would love to check that out because if there's a good game of this genre type, I would love to see it. But anyways, so they released that trailer. Now, that trailer made it the most wishlisted game on Steam, and it remained the most wishlisted game on Steam forever, for several years, until I think Harry Potter Legacy or Hogwarts Legacy or whatever the hell that took over that most wishlisted spot. But until that point, it was the day before. It showed a lot of promise just from a single trailer. However, even then, the cracks of trouble had started to show. Let me weave for you a little narrative here. A lot of game creators, a lot of devs, a lot of video specialists, several of them took to making videos and Twitter posts and Twitlongers and all kinds of blogs and such, talking about how that interesting looking video was already a bad sign and already a bit of a scam. Meaning, specifically, that it was not a gameplay footage video. It was actually a pre-rendered footage using stolen assets. Now, stolen assets will come back again, which is why I'm bringing it up right now. But yeah, so that was already starting to show, but most people didn't even, did not even have a lot of research done on the game. I mean, a lot of people don't do research on games. Most people... Dude, like me, I mean, before I started doing YouTube and before I started doing Twitch, I didn't really research games. Like, I played the games that looked cool to me, and that was it. That's most people. That's like 99% of gamers. So if you do research on a game, you're already, like, doing more work than 99% of gamers. And that's, I'm not admonishing gamers. Gamers shouldn't, be forced to do research. But that is the world we find ourselves in now, which is interesting. And why I'm making this video, because I would like to at least educate a little bit of my perspective on how this happened and how we can avoid these things in the future, hopefully. Anyways, so they released this trailer, and it got admonished and everything, but they kept going. Interestingly enough, this made people look into their past games. This made true existential. This made people look in their past games, and thankfully, FnTastic. If you go to FnTastic's actual website, half of these games are not even listed on their website, or at least it wasn't about 2 months ago, which is when we last covered this game, right before the launch and everything like that. So you couldn't really find any information about the Dead Dozen or the Wild 8. And the reason for that is very simple. Guys, all of these games are abandoned games, pretty much. Prop Night is the only active game at this moment on Steam, or was right before this entire debacle happened. Who knows if it's still even on there. But the Wild 8 was their first game. It was actually looking to be a pretty decent game. It was a top-down survival game, kind of a little bit of a Mogus feel, because he was like 8 of you are on this island or whatever. You have to do random things and a little survival-y type of stuff, little jobs, and you can kill each other and all kinds of wacky things. And it was actually a pretty decent game for about a year, and then they decided after I think 9 months or something, they were like, this game is too expensive to cover and actually support, so we're gonna end support for it and work on the next big thing. So they did. They literally killed the servers, killed the game, and which is really a bad thing that they should be that they're allowed to do this. But a lot of game companies actually get away with something similar, but usually not as egregious or as quick and swift as this one. So the next one, The Dead Dozen. We showed a trailer for The Dead Dozen. This is when they had the most recent launch trailer saying that December 9th or 8th or whatever was their launch date for the day before. I showed you guys the Wild 8. And the Wild 8 is let's just say it might be one of the worst games I had ever seen. Ever. And straight up, literally ever. I think it had like a peak launch of under 100 people on Steam. A peak launch of under 100. Those are astounding numbers. Obviously, they pretend this game never existed until, I'm actually surprised that they're being transparent enough to link it here. But I think it's because like a lot of content creators have been calling them out for their past failures. Anyways, that game is put up and completely dead and gone. Radiant One, I have no idea about this game. I did not even hear about this game. I've actually researched this company. I've researched these games. I've showcased it on Steam, on stream before with you guys and talking about this stuff. And it's actually gone. Like, I've never found it. This is my first hearing about the Radiant One. So this is actually rather shocking. The Prop Night game was made in a quite, let's say, just ludicrous level of asset flipping already, and it was kind of like basically blatantly stealing the ideas and assets and such of several other games. That was, I guess, mildly successful. People were playing it as of last month because I looked up all their games when we were discussing the video for it about a month ago. So as of that time, it was, relatively decently seen. Hell, I've even gotten it in a couple of bundles before. I've never given it out because the game is, looks like trash, and I don't trust the company. But I actually have some keys for it, and I'm just like, yeah, I will never give that game away, man. I would not give this shit away. And then we have the day before. So we know what happened the day before. So let me go back to their statement. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. First of all, 4 days of existence of the game, and you're calling it a financial failure. While this is, in some ways, true, it is a financial failure. Why they're saying this statement? They're saying we lack the funds to continue because they're trying to make an excuse to basically leave with their tail between their legs and not get sued and not have to give refund money back. And what they've highlighted here, actually, this is correctly highlighted by someone else. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. They don't want to give the money back. This is their excuse to give whatever money they can avoid to give back. They're trying to avoid giving back any money. So, yeah, that is also very, very interesting. They're talking about how they've invested all their efforts, resources, and man hours. This is business speak for all of our investor money that we've ever made, and I don't think they actually got that much investor money, but if they got any, they're saying that it went into the development of the day before because they want to be able to take a loss out of it. And they might be thinking to try to take at least a tax loss out of it and maybe be able to scrape enough funds together that they can, live off of it for a little bit here and there. That is my assumption. And also tax loss can be used in future for future profits if they ever make any. Very doubtful for this company, frankly, but that is what they're trying to do, in my opinion. And this is a ploy that many companies use in pretty much everything. Taking a future, what they see as a future loss, calling it a loss right now, being able to take the tax break and use that for future profits later on. This is something that, like, huge companies do. This is something that, like, Ubisoft does. This is something that WB did. Remember when WB, there was the show or movie, I think it was either a show or a movie of Batwoman, and they decided to kill it before it released, and it had Michael Keaton in it and everything. It actually looked pretty good. They killed it all the way before it released, like 2 months. The reason they did that is because they basically had it as a tax write-off. That's it. And yeah, that's why, like, that's what the DC EU is doing right now. Like the DC movies, the Flash movie, and so on and so forth. They knew as soon as they announced that the DC universe was going to be, like, wiped clean and they're going to start anew with James Gunn leading the entire studio and so on. They knew that all the future movies coming out, Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 and all that, they were going to be, like, huge losses. And they're willing to take that hit because they can write down, this is going to be a loss. We put in this much money into it. We're going to get this much money back. We might barely break even, but chances are even low of that. So technically, this should be a tax write-off for us. So they're going to use all those tax write-offs for their future movies. That is exactly what they're trying to do here. This is another example of this exact type of thing. Technically, this is legal, but let me remind you guys, not all things legal are ethically correct. Not all ethically correct things are also legal. So the ethically correct and morally correct versus legally correct are a lot of times not the same thing. So yeah, there's a lovely little lesson in there for you guys for pretty much anything. This type of thing happens a long time. And the future of the day before and prop night is unknown. Is the day before delisted? I think the day before is delisted, but let me check. Because if it's delisted, the future is very known. What is it called? The day before. Is it viable? Oh my god, dude. Just seeing this overwhelmingly negative number is just amazing. Amazing every single time. I should take it off the wish list, actually. I had it on the wish list because I like to follow games, even if they're going to be ass. Okay, yeah. So you can no longer buy the game, guys. You can no longer buy the game. The game is actually delisted. So you can see the game page. And this is probably still, the page is still in existence. As a form of record. As well as a form of, and you can't buy it anymore. As a way to be able to refund the game. I think Steam does this for any game that is like actually, you know, actively dead. But this is kind of how they like get rid of all the issues of the game. Because I think as a result of this, as a result of being delisted, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in chat, but the game now can be basically forever refunded. So the 2-hour window to refund a game, I think that no longer really has an issue anymore. I think anyone can refund it, which is good. Frankly, Steam should have done this from the start for this game, and they should really relax this 2-hour window for a lot of games, in my opinion. But I'm glad that they're at least doing it now. I'm very, very glad they're doing it now. Out of curiosity, let me see if they have Radiant whatever. The Radiant one. I'm actually curious what the Radiant one is. Oh, no, I've heard of this. I've seen this. This is actually like a, it's like a walking simulator, kind of just like little graphical game. Yeah. This is technically their most successful game. 180 people or 166 people actually rated this positively. It's only $1, which is probably why it's even seen well. But this is like such a, I think it launched as a mobile game. Yeah, I forgot about this one. This is the Radiant one. So yeah, technically this is their most positive game, guys, which is really fucking funny. Anyways, all right. So I think we've covered that pretty decently. We miscalculated our capabilities. This is them saying it's not our fault, guys. You cannot legally go after us. I think people can legally go after them. However, I don't know if anyone will. I don't know if anyone particularly can because they're not based in the US. However, in order to launch on Steam, I think there was like an entire kerfuffle where they had to at least act like they were based in the US. So I think they can still be liable for fraud. I don't know. Fraud laws are very, very weird. If they're not based in the US, it's going to be very, very, very hard to attack them for fraud. Even as egregious as this is. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very interesting thing going forward. Let's read the lovely Forbes article about it. Well, the day before isn't a scam crowd is not looking too hot today. 4 days after launch, when the day before attracted 500,000 viewers on Steam. After selling early access for $40, this developer, FnTastic, is shutting down completely according to a new statement. Just released announcement says, day before failed financially and the income was brought in before being used to pay off debts. So Forbes is actually a pretty good use here because Forbes is a business site. While I don't like Forbes all the time, this seems so far to be a pretty good article. So I'll go ahead and link the article in chat. And when I make the YouTube video, I'll also link it there. So keep in mind, this will be made into a YouTube video as well. All right. They cannot afford to patch the extremely broken game, which launched an entirely different genre than originally promised. Actually, this is a very interesting thing. True. So the genres that were promised by the game were MMO, survival, and what is it called? MMO, survival, and shooter. I think the only thing, yeah, open world. There we go. Yeah, open world. That was the word I was looking for. Open world. However, it is basically none of those things. It ended up becoming and switching genres to be an extraction shooter. Yeah, exactly. Glorified dating sim. True. So as a result, it actually completely changed genres, and that can amount to a broken promise. Now, how attackable this is in a legal standpoint, that is way beyond my purview. But that is an interesting aspect that I did not really think of until just now. The message goes on, regardless, from Forbes, to say that the day before did not take any crowdfunding development, and they worked hard for 5 years. This is actually true. This is the only statement in that entire thing that is true. They did not take any crowdfunding development. However, the two things that they did do are why did they even create the trailer? Guys, they created the trailer to show it off to investors and try to get investor money. Now, I am not able to look deep enough into the financials to see if they actually got any investor money. I think they, considering that they had to work off of some kind of money, I feel like they had taken some kind of investor money in some way, shape, or form. I feel like there's no real possible way they could not do any development of this game without investor money. The other problem is with this statement is that not by Forbes but by FnTastic is that while they did not take any pre-crowdfunding like Kickstarter, which has many scams and so on and so forth, as you guys well know, they did take money afterward. They sold this game for $40 on Steam, and millions of people bought it, or at least hundreds of thousands of people bought it. A lot of people refunded it, but they still had to buy the game in the first place. Those two things, and it also released in early access, and so that is a form of crowdfunding, guys. Like, that is absolutely a form of crowdfunding. It's not crowdfunding in the Kickstarter sense, but it is crowdfunding in a different sense. 4 million US estimates. Okay, so estimates of 4 million in sales. Interesting. I wonder how accurate that number is. I feel like that number would be higher, honestly. Like, do you mean 4 million units or $4 million? I feel like it would be 4 million units, probably. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers. But that's very interesting. Either way, it's a lot of money. $4 million still is a lot of money. For sure. Anyways, they did take $40 out of everyone. Okay, so Forbes did catch on to this. Okay. They say at the moment, day before servers will remain operational, but where somehow there are still 4,400 concurrent players with a 6,700 peak in the last 24 hours. That is higher than I expected. I expected this to be like under 1,000 now. This whole thing was just another nightmare. Incredibly misleading trailers showing a game that simply did not exist. And it did not exist from the very beginning, just like I was talking about. People were talking about. Thank you so much, Aku, for that sub, buddy. I appreciate that. You're amazing and kind and wonderful. We love you tons, buddy. So people were talking about how this game it was a scam from the very beginning. We watched those videos. Very, very interesting stuff about it being like a slice of a video, essentially, as opposed to actual game footage. And there was like a lot of spots where this was purposefully misleading. Guessing a significant amount of money was invested in making those spots look genuine. That is true, and those trailers did look good, technically, at least to the untrained eye. And if they're saying that revenue is going towards paying their debts, any non-refunded cash was essentially just thrown away by players. Yes, they're trying to get out of refunds. However, I think there's a way against that from Steam. Like, I think Steam, I don't know if it's held in escrow. Because, like, if it works to the fact that, like, Steam, when you pay for a Steam game, it gets held in escrow before it's given to the developers, then that money can be given back, like, easily. And if it's not held in escrow and the developers did get money, Steam often covers at least a portion of the refunds because Steam is a marketplace and this is, like, the Steam guarantee, essentially. That is one of the really good things about using Steam. Like, that is one reason people use Steam as a developer. It is one reason that people use Steam as buyers. Absolutely. So, very, very, very true on that statement. Even if they're not saying the revenue is going towards paying their debts, any non-refunded cash was, yeah. I would venture a guess that there was a colossal amount of refunds and estimated income that they did receive. Actually, I saw estimates about the refunds. I think it was like half the people who bought the game refunded the game in the last 24 hours. I think it was like literally half, which is a lot. However, these guys, these devs, FnTastic, they took a lot of that money as well. So that money, they should be liable. Division-like City using bot assets featured maybe 3 to 4 zombies in an hour play session. Guys, I'm going to show you a fun list after this. We showed it a little bit last night, but I'm going to talk about a little bit of why. Player versus player battles were glitched and wrecked by server issues. Occasionally, players would lose their entire inventory and need to start over. It was both A, nothing that was promised, and B, release utterly broken. In a year where there have been thousands of layoffs in the gaming industry, it's theoretically tough to see a studio shut down. But FnTastic, it's a bit of a different case. And I don't know what they're going to be doing the last 5 years. Or I don't know what they were doing the last 5 years. But they repeatedly lied about what the game was and charged players $40 for a completely different broken product. Not only that, guys. Forbes missed out on this. They released like 3 different pieces of software that they advertised in the trailers for the day before. They did like basically like a WeWork kind of thing, but it was like a almost like I guess like a what is it called? Like a Zoom meeting type of deal or whatever. But it was like made for like working together on like a graphics project and shit. And they like released one of those. They released like several other different actual pieces of non-gaming related in any way, shape, or form software that they were advertising actively in their later trailers. Those trailers they didn't even want you guys to see, so I didn't even really cover them. But I saw them, and they were really egregiously bad. So they used this game to make money and investments in other ways, in other branches. So those things, in a legal sense, if it's in America, are in some smaller ways at least liable. Now, how liable that is to be actually prosecuted, I don't know, because I don't think they're actually based in the U.S. I think they were even developed in, I think they were in Thailand for a while, or Indonesia. They're the one where their trailer where they were talking about like the WeWork kind of software was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Thailand. But they probably have taken that trailer down. I have to check after stream to see if that's still up. But I think it's taken down. Singapore. There we go. That's okay. Yeah, it was in Singapore, Mage. Yeah, you're right. Not Thailand. I don't know why I was thinking Thailand. Yeah, Singapore. Singapore is much more technologically focused anyways. That makes much more sense. Regardless, point still stands. The software that they used and that they were trying to sell at the same exact time, they were basically using the day before as a driver for sales. If a lawyer is good enough, this is attackable, guys. This is definitely prosecutable. Like, thinking about it now, like, I really do think. Either way, Forbes agrees, this is a scam. Maybe the game did exist, but it was a scam all the same. Even the studio's website has been completely erased and replaced by the shutdown message. They have also scrubbed their entire YouTube channel. Yeah, I told you I was trying to look for it in preparation for the stream. Could not find any of their YouTube trailers. You can still find the trailers via third-party sites. Like, I think IGN saved the trailers. I think several of the content creators that have been covering this from the beginning have saved the older trailers and such. I'm sure most people save their VODs and such, at least. So it might be like a little bit of shoddier quality, but it's the same thing. But yeah, this is always spelled rotten from the start, and while smaller dev teams should often be supported in their endeavors, I think players have to realize AAA level promise among studios of this size and a totally unknown reputation cannot be trusted. Really do not want to see this happening again. I think this is actually a W article. This is a rare W article from Forbes. Actually very, very well written. I think I had some stuff to add to it, like I did, but it's still quite well written. Now, what I want to go through, guys, is talk about why this is prosecutable and talk about how this is absolutely a legitimate scam. Like how this can be labeled as a true scam. These are the features. Someone made a list. This was 5 days ago, so this might actually be updated since then. But someone made a list of all the things that the trailers promised that was not delivered on. Let's go through this. Paul Tassi is pretty good. I have not read their other work, or maybe I don't recognize their name, but I'll check them out. Covers a lot of Destiny 2 news. Ooh, speaking of scams. Ooh, man. Ooh. Ooh, someday, guys. Someday, when I'm prepared, when I'm able to prepare a lot, I will give you guys a little bit of a business side expose on Destiny 2. That might piss a lot of people off, but guys, I want you to know, if you're a Destiny 2 fan, I don't want you to be upset when I make this video. Because I'm not making fun of Destiny 2 players or anything in any way. This will be about Bungie being a piece of shit. Just want to put that out there. Just want to put that out there, guys. I just want to put that out there. Anyway, so yeah, they promised weather and dynamic weather as well as dynamic time of day. Obviously, that didn't happen. They promised radio announcements. The only audio that I heard over and over in the gameplays that I watched, and we watched it together, was the alarm. That insanely annoying alarm just going over and over again. Like 50 different times in a single area and shit. Oh my god. That was atrocious. Proximity chat. That was also not given. Oh, guys, this was from the trailer. It was from that really good looking trailer that was exposed as just being a gaming slice. Not a gaming slice. A pre-rendered video slice, as opposed to an actual gaming trailer. One of the really cool videos about it was an actual Riot Games dev that exposed this and talked about all of the ways, because he works in rendering videos, he works in creating game trailers, and he's talking about how all of the signs that pointed to this being not a real trailer and not a, like, in any way, shape, or form in-game footage, because it was advertised as in-game footage. Physics simulation. Yeah, that's definitely not in existence in this game. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely not. Forcing door open while sprinting, dynamic movement. Yep, that's definitely not a thing. Yeah, physics of cloth. You can see that moving. Having watched the gameplay, guys, nothing moves. Nothing like this. Zombie behavior, stagger after being shot. Yeah, I mean, technically they could get away with this because the zombies do stagger. However, it's after a desync of literally like a second and a half. And the stagger is the exact same animation every time, and it works the same no matter where you hit. I mean, that would, oh god, it's the bare minimum. Yeah, hordes, 15 zombies at once. Yeah, they actually purposefully cut the zombies to reduce load. I think it can almost be legitimately said like that. Functional elevator, yep, that doesn't exist. Crafting on the go, that is definitely not a thing. Deployable sleeping bag, absolutely not a thing. Yeah, this was like when they were acting like this is still going to be an MMO. Yep. Camping inside a city apartment, absolutely not a thing. God, this could have been such an amazing game if it was real. Holy shit. Please, any game dev out there, please pick up where people left off. Please grab this game by the horns and really make it real. Please. There's people want a game like this, but a real one. They really, really do. Dynamic reticle spread. That is definitely not a thing. Animated finishers. Nope. And there's also no melee. Drivable LAVIFV. Okay, so I guess that's that video, the vehicle. That is definitely not a thing. True. Off-road driving with mud slowing the car down. Yeah, that's definitely not a thing. Physics simulation with mud displacement. Yeah, that is way too complicated for FnTastic. Jesus Christ. Binoculars with differing views. Nope, that is definitely not a thing. Zombie behavior with a zombie playing dead. Dude, this was such a cool part of the trailer. Oh my god, man. Even Project Zomboid has zombies acting dead. Project Zomboid is made by like a team of like fucking like 10 people, man. Granted, it's a completely different style game, but that shows how good Project Zomboid is. It actually has behavior like this. It does not. DayZ based in the same wheelhouse. Similar in different ways. DayZ is specifically based on PvP a lot, and also it's based on the Arma engine as opposed to Unreal 5. This was supposed to be a true MMO, which is what they advertised it as. It is obviously not, but this was supposed to be better than DayZ, essentially, in many, many ways. And it's basically worse in literally every way, for sure. But yeah, that was what you are pointing to is correct. Werewolf. It was supposed to be in a lot of ways similar to DayZ, but just more broad and more interesting, more in depth, more survival based. It's none of those things. Zombie behavior, alarmed by gunshots. Yeah, the zombies don't really react to anything. Vaulting. Oh my god, dude. You can't vault in anything on this game. We saw the gaming footage yesterday, guys. You can't do any vaulting, any real movement. You can get stuck behind a barrier easily. The zombies get stuck behind barrier. People were dodging zombies by walking up onto a car. And that was it. And they were just like surrounded by zombies, and the zombies were bumping into each other. And it was like the most jank shit ever. It was so funny to watch, except for the fact that it's a scam. So it was very sad at the same time. Yeah, no climbing. That goes the same way. Turning breakers on. That is not a mechanic in this game. In fact, there's like pretty much no interactable in this entire game except the stuff you can loot and also the alarm boxes, and you have to have a perk for that. Then repairing the car or the crafted kit. That is absolutely not a thing. True. Physics simulation with destructible fences. That is very much not a thing. Holy crap. The alarm system minigame. Yeah, I actually don't know about this. I didn't see anyone with the perk to shut off the alarms. I just know it exists. I have no idea how that works in the actual game, but I'm assuming if it's on this list, it doesn't exist. Zombies breaking a door open. Yep, does not exist. Collision physics. Yep, nope. Access cards. Yeah, red card in the inventory. Yeah, no, that's not a thing. Restricted access zones with the underground bunker. Nope. Oh! Guys, remember when we showed off the asset flip? Okay, we're going to go over the asset flip as well. Do I have that somewhere here? I think I did. Yeah, okay, here. So, the bunker. Remember we were wondering where the bunker was? Guys, the bunker was in this trailer. This is the exact same bunker. Hold on. Let's see if the asset flip is... Let's see if we can find the bunker. Oh my god. Let's see how similar it looks. Oh, this is so good. Control F. Bunker. There we go. This is the Unreal 5 asset store, by the way, guys. This is what I'm looking at right now. Oh my god. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. Oh my god. Holy smokes. Reload indicator, yeah, it's not a thing in the game. Armory workbench, not a thing in the game. Ray tracing. I don't think any... I think like 2090s and stuff. Not 2090s, sorry, 3090s and stuff could barely run the game. So I don't know if anyone even tried to use ray tracing. Not sure about that. DLSS 3, yep. Dismemberment. Yep, the zombies don't do anything useful. This is aged poorly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, I can't believe they tried to act like this would release in 2022. Holy crap. This is like watching a horror... This is the true horror movie, guys. This is the true horror movie. Run. What? Wait, what? Oh! Are they showing that the camera was fake? Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they were doing. I think that's what this is showing. Amazing. And this is the other reason that they're I think going to be labeled correctly as an asset flip. Someone's actually done the list. Ooh, I should put, because I want to put these links in my YouTube video. But yeah, these are all of the assets used. And if you actually, guys, if you put all of these numbers together, I'm pretty sure all of these assets will not number above $10,000 easily. I think it'd probably be closer to like what, 500 or no, I would say like maybe above 1,000-ish. But yeah, I think at this point it is very, very easily said that there's no way that this is even maybe $2,000 of assets. This is the biggest scam I've ever seen. I would say in the past 5 years. In the past 5 years of gaming, I have not seen a scam bigger than this. By the way, guys. So yeah, the scam before. It is done, guys. I want everyone to know about this. I will definitely be making this into a video because everyone should know. Did you read their apology statement? Yeah, I read everything, dude. It's been a journey, guys. It's been a journey. I'm so thankful this game failed, and I'm so thankful that the gaming community, every single person in the gaming community has agreed. Basically, it's that shaking hands meme where it's like two people that hate each other and they're shaking hands. They've decided to shake hands on calling out FnTastic and the day before for being the scam. It so obviously is. I think it's prosecutable. I would actually bargain a guess that this is prosecutable. And I certainly hope they get prosecuted. Because scams like this, if they don't get prosecuted, if scams like this do not get prosecuted, it almost enables other scams to occur. So, anyways, that's what I wanted to start off stream with. I want to talk about this this crazy turn of events. Who would have foreseen that this game company would shut down? I didn't think it was going to shut down in 4 days. But yeah, this is absolutely an asset flip. They're basically trying to cut costs. They're trying to run away. And they're erasing all their footprint on the internet to hopefully get away with it. And I sincerely hope they don't. There you go. Watch out, by the way, guys. For these developers, write down the names and watch out for these names being used in other companies. Instead of FnTastic or FnTastic 2 or something. They might do something stupid where they just rename their company or try to launch another game. They've done it before. They might very, very well do it again. And why wouldn't they? They've gotten away with it 5 separate times so far. Why would they not try it a 6th time? That is the real issue here. So we got to make sure these companies, this company specifically, but other companies like this, never do this shit again. And that's my spiel, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it.